Yeah. All right. Teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. This session obviously aims to teach the importance of teamwork. We're going to learn the three skills of teamwork itself. We're going to be able to define it, practice a little bit of teamwork, and analyze the behavior overall. For a team to be successful, as we said, we need to be able to communicate with each other and help one each other out. In a team, you must be able to know how to deal with each other's sometimes miscommunications and or angers. We need to be able to breathe in when we're dealing with the tension of maybe a difficult team player. Need to make sure that we understand that this is not a competition when it comes to IT. There is no competition. We're all really in believing that we're all part of a critical link. For those that love the Matrix, then yes, we are one. We are part of the Matrix. And the more that we can actually believe it, the easier it gets to be able to actually complete our jobs. Have some activities in here. So overall, we have the opening, as I said before many times, and we asked earlier, I believe somebody alluded to the word teamwork. If it's not all together trying to reach that ultimate goal, we will fail. We need to be able to work and correlate with each other. If not, it's just a whole bunch of people doing something with no goal in sight. I think that's enough for me to blab about introducing. I'm not sure who goes next now.
It's me, Diego. I'll do it.
Okay.
Hey all, very good evening. How are you all doing? Good. All ready to do this activity? Sorry?
I said I'm doing great.
Thank you. Yeah, it looks like we have to talk, just us. They're all tired of day's work. Okay, so I just want some volunteers. Tell me what comes to your mind when you think about teamwork.
Collaboration.
Collaboration, yes, right.
It's a communication.
Yes, the communication is key. Yes, definitely in teamwork. What else? What else comes to your mind?
A collection of different skills coming together.
Yes, definitely.
A collection of different skill sets coming together.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I heard that. It's a collection of skills. Group.
Okay,
yes.
Let's say something.
Yes.
Okay, that means at least to say a team or a group. Two and more people supposed to be in the team.
Yeah.
I would say working towards a common goal.
Yes, working towards a common goal, right? So we are all here together as a team, working towards one single common goal, right? So what's your goal? To complete this whole program, get yourself certified, and land into your job, right? In IT, that's the goal. So we are all working together as a team. Okay, so this is a team, so we always work together, we collaborate. Is someone?
Supporting each other.
Support each other, definitely.
Synergy.
Great, great. Yeah, I got some good points. So, as Diego said, this is the agenda for today. We do a very interesting thing today, which is a scavenger hunt. Okay, it's going to be a lot of fun and you'll feel like you worked out after this. Okay, you're going to enjoy this. So everybody get ready to run for some time. Okay, you literally run around once I start this game.
He's not kidding. You got to move stuff out of the way.
So now you're going to have a chance to explore teamwork in this group scavenger hunt activity, okay? You'll be working in groups together. I'll put you all in the groups of 6, okay? So it's up to you to communicate as a team so that you'll do this activity. So what this activity is all about, okay? After I divide you and put in the groups, okay, in the breakout room, we're going to have 10 rounds of some activity. And what activity it is? During each round, okay, everyone please engage, please listen, okay? I'm going to tell you the rules for this game, right? Everyone are engaging and you are all attentive, okay? I'm going to say the rules for the scavenger hunt hunt game. So I'll put you in the breakout room in groups of 6, okay? We are going to have 10 rounds. And what you will be doing in this, I'll announce an item, okay? And each group must search for that item in your house. For example, I might say, bring an ear pod. Probably you'll have it in your desk, but I'll say, probably bring a spoon. Then you'll have to go to your kitchen, okay? But somebody who's having dinner might have it in your hand, I know that. But you'll be running around if that's not the case, okay? Sometimes I'll say just one person get it from the whole group. Sometimes I'll say 2, sometimes I'll say 3, sometimes I'll say the whole group has to bring that item, right? Sometimes it might be just 1 piece, it might be 2 piece or 3 piece. So be attentive. So how will I give this instruction to you? Okay, we are going to play 10 rounds, right? Each round, you'll be doing all these in your breakout room. But I'll be announcing you this instruction, what you have to do as a group using the broadcast message, okay? While you are in the breakout room, there'll be a blue color font, displayed, okay? If you pay attention, you will see a broadcast message sent to that room. So that's where you get the message, what to pick, which item to pick and how many members has to get that item, how many items to get it, okay? So once you search and get that item in your group, okay, as soon as I announce the item, you will search, you will begin to search in your house, right? Once your group has all the required items, okay? Once you have all the required items and everyone in the group is back in their screen, because you'll be running around, you might not be in the screen. That's absolutely fine. But once you collect and everybody is back in the screen, I want that group to come back to the main room and show that item to me. I'll have to see, okay? Whatever I say, you'll have to come and show it to me. The first group to show that item gets 10 points, okay? In each round, okay? 10 points for the first group to show the item. But everyone else that finds the item after the first group will get 3 points, okay? So we're going to do this for 10 rounds. And for each round, the first group gets 10 points. And it has to be the right one, right? Okay? If it's not that you bring something else. So whatever I announce, that's what you're going to bring it. And in the same right number. So everyone finds the items and you have to show it on the camera. And then you go back to the breakout room again, okay? Once everybody is there in the breakout room, again, I'll send the second message or third message, subsequent messages, okay, for the next rounds. And then you do that activity and then come back to the main room. So once again, or what did you learn from it?
I can volunteer.
Just share your experience, yeah. Yes, Sylvia.
The main point or problem is with communications, because when we are looking for something and somebody already has it and say like, I have it, and that person is mute, so everybody else didn't hear it. So this combination of the remote technology and communication between members of group is the main challenging point on this game. And I think we do it good, I think.
Okay, if we play the same game second time, what do you think? How better do you think you can do, and what you do to make it better or play it better?
Can I tell you honestly?
Yes.
I think not the group and communications in between members in a group needs to improve, but the organization of this game, because the changing people between groups and especially I don't know how you can count who was first and who was second, because when we put something in the chat, it was shown in the chat in the same minute. And when you are looking on that, I think about almost 50 videos, how you can see who was first and if the
we were following a different trick, definitely. First, we were checking if how many people were there using your breakout rooms, right?
Yeah,
we know who joined the breakout room, who are here. We can make that out from the groups.
Yeah, we can see it. We have a screen. We have a screen, and we can see. Besides the little Hollywood squares that you see here, we have visibility of seeing who is where and when they're coming in and out. So I'm pretty sure some of you that came out first automatically, even though you saw like 2 or 3 squares, we were calling out your name or we were calling your group's name because we could see that group came out first. Even though there's a whole bunch of squares, there's another list that we can look at.
So for the next time, we can just tell everybody in the group needs to be unmute. So it will help communication about I have it or
I would agree with you. I totally agree with you, but this is part of the actual the exercise is letting you completely as a group try to coordinate the communication, try to coordinate teamwork and how you're going to accomplish the goal. Because I could only tell you similar to what once my boss told me, and you'll see it a lot, is that if I have to give you in detail every single thing and how to accomplish it, then I might as well just go ahead, either do it myself or get somebody else to do it. It's just that little concept. I know it's vague and it does get a little bit frustrating at first, but it is part of the concept, is learning how to use the tool. As you mentioned, some of you were muted. Seeing how quickly you can devise a leader that could try to lead the team to try to get the communication through. As for the adaptability, we were able to adapt now with the new technology that Zoom has. We're able to share our screen into your room. That was not there from the previous class that we had. So we would always have to use the chat. So that's something that we just came up with by the fly of the scenario. Since that new feature is there, we can actually now share our screen. So we adapted and added that feature. But definitely, I do agree. This is a challenging thing. It comes a little bit of a push and shove. Everybody comes out. It always happens. Everybody comes out and starts going crazy and screaming. But at the same time, it doesn't matter who won. It's more of the activity and getting that little feeling of anxiousness, trying to get something done as quickly as possible, and who's going to get it done.
Okay. Can I go, Diego? Can I continue?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to share the screen again? Yeah. All right, let me go back to the, or is it you that's sharing? Did I close the presentation? Oops.
You want me to share it? I have it open.
Go ahead if you don't mind. I think I closed it over here.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So group 5, room 5, somebody from room 5. Can you tell me what did your group do and what could have been better or what was best? Like, how did you plan to do this? Room 5? Cameron, Kyla, Liam Harris, Magdalena, Marjorie, Tamra. Yes.
So I think we did pretty well. We were talking a lot when we got back, communicated how we did. We would communicate who had it. I think what was difficult was that some of us, like I couldn't get I wasn't getting the prompts at all. So we communicate on calling out loud what the item was, saying how many people, you know, so we kind of had to adapt to problems we were having with the technology, which I assume is going to also be a problem in the workplace. So, but I think overall, I feel like we did a really good job. And we're positive and we had fun, so that's good.
Okay. Thank you, Tamra, for sharing that. Definitely you did good. Everyone did good, in fact, but then it's about planning, right? So if it's just one of them, sometime what happened was, even if we asked for just one item from one person in the team, all of them came here. It's because you were not communicating at all. I'm just talking for every team, okay? Not just to one room, okay? I'm just saying this is what was happening. So everybody came in here. So we wanted just one person from that group to come and show us, right? So it was because there was lack of communication. Yes, Sylvia, I see your hands raised.
I think this was different because you said that we are competing about which group is first. So if 5 people from one group came in the main room, it's much bigger chance that we will be first. So this is not about communication, because if we talk about who is going to the main room, we will lose 30 seconds or 2 minutes just because we are communicating. We will lost chance to be first.
Definitely agree with you, but guess what happens if I went and ordered myself a Big Mac and fries, and all of a sudden I paid for a Big Mac and fries, and I walk out with 5 Big Macs and 5 large fries? How much upset you think that manager is going to get upset? So this is the key thing about these little games that we play is, again, communication and ensuring that we do not gold plate or overgive what the customer is asking for. In this case, we needed one person out of the team to come out with one given item, or 3 people. And it's always interesting when we play this game, because it is frustrating, because you want to, that spirit of wanting to win as a team. You sometimes just fight for position and or are not clear of who is doing what and when. These are actually phases of teams when they're first being born or initialized, then they go and fight for position, seeing who can do things the fastest, who can do things the best. Eventually they start normalizing, where most of them know exactly what's going on and who should be doing something. The next phase was where we always call it, and we love it, is performing, where everything's running smooth. Everyone's even being attentive, or even, as you can say, a sixth sense of what they expect. Maybe I know that Chad is always going to be asking me for something at a certain point, and I automatically am going to go and get that and pass him that tool. Not waiting for him to ask me for the tool. I already see that he's getting there, and I'm giving him the tool, for instance. So these are things that we learn in a workforce, and it is kind of funny when eventually you start noticing these patterns of teamwork and how communication is key, and ensuring that each team player knows exactly where their part comes to play. And trust me, sometimes fastest is not the best. So we have to make sure we do exactly what they're asking for, what the orders is, and what is it that they need. Because if we give them more than what they really need, it's not going to be exactly what they asked for.
So I think if there are a little bit different rules, like for the first person, we will get 10 points.
10 points.
And for each, like second, third, and more people, we will get a minus points. And we will need to communicate, don't send more people, because we will lost points. But it would be different rules.
Definitely. Thank you for the feedback.
But definitely it could have been accomplished, as Tamra said, because why did I pull that group to talk now? Because group 5 did well and they were doing well in at least minimum 4 rounds, okay? They scored in minimum 4 rounds and they are in the leading. The reason is they communicated. They talked to each other and they were able to pull it together and execute this task, right? So communication is the key. And Aarti, you were raising your hands for some time.
Yeah, actually, we are well participated in all the things. Our main ambition is just after collecting the thing, we are busy with, we are trying to get the 10 points. So everyone is, if you are not giving that point, we will have the proper communication. We will come with the proper count, because in our group, we all are tried well. We did our level best, but we didn't able to communicate because we want to get the mark. We are busy with that.
That's the reason I noticed this, and that's the reason when you were at like end of round 3, I told everyone, this is about teamwork. So collaborate within yourself and do this activity, right?
Yeah.
So I tried to bring that point in because you people were competing to get the scores, but not accomplishing the task at all. So what I would say, even if there is a team, yeah, everybody has to collaborate. Someone has to take the lead and have to plan it and lead the whole team. That's when this whole thing can happen, right? That's when we can steer it in the right direction.
Yes.
So congratulations to room 5. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I have a question. Was this for more of communication, or was it more for like following instructions? I mean, basically this activity was more of following instructions, right?
Well,
no,
it was emphasizing teamwork and how, yes, you had to follow directions, but within a team, when there is, if you notice, there was stress and there was time factor included into this. The faster you can get out here and communicate with each other, you were able to get exactly what we were asking for. But sometimes some of us were reading it too quick. Some groups were only coming out with one person. Some groups were coming out with all people. Some people only brought one item instead of 3, for instance. So yes, when it comes to teamwork, there is so many different aspects that come into to play with each other. It's obviously communication. We need to be clear with each other, who is doing what and when. We need to obviously treat each other with respect, because if we all start yelling at each other and trying to get things done too fast, it's not going to get it done. And at the same time, we need to be clear on when we were coming out, because like we said, some of us were coming out, or the whole team was coming out at one time when it was only really one person. So this activity, we just need to just understand it is teamwork. It's holding on to the other skills, because a lot of these behavior skills and mindsets really touch upon with each other. And but overall, hopefully, we do hope you guys had some sort of fun with the activity, and we kind of learned something about teamwork. Back to our previous programming. Sorry, Sue.
No, Diego. We're just giving the right points. Now, we are going to do, now that we know what teamwork is, we just want to learn what would be the strategies that will be helpful to be a good team player, right? As we all know, teamwork is a behavioral skill that we, where people have to work in group towards a shared goal, right? So what I want you to do is think about a really successful team, you know, okay? It could be any team, a sports team or some team at work or team in your community. I just want you to think about that team and tell me, what did that team do that made it so successful?
The screen is gray again.
Okay.
So you understood my question? What's the question? I just want, okay, let me pick someone. Yes.
Hey,
Helen? What's that?
This is Melody.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I had a job before where they kind of broke up the different, we had to mail out letters and it was real monotonous, so nobody really wanted to do it, but they had us take turns, like to do just one little part. And it's like, we would take turns doing each little part so that everybody got really good at each part. And so then it was like, to break it up from being so monotonous, we would just spend an hour a day and send out way more letters than it would have been with, you know, one person doing it all day or something like that. But you just took each little thing and broke it up so every person did one little part.
Yes.
And then everybody had to learn how to do every part. So if something happened, you had to jump in where that other person was at.
Yes,
and that worked
great.
really well.
Yeah. So the main thing that was done in the team was it's communicating, right? In first place, because they decided to break down into smaller parts, and then they communicated to the team that we all each do this small parts. So that way, as a team, we achieve it, right? So first, once they planned it, they communicated it to the team as well, so that they're all in the same page, right? So yeah, great. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so what I want to say is in every industry, okay, whatever be the level of your career be, you'll be working with lots of people. You'll be required to work alongside with others. So we have to know how to work with others in a very empathetic and also efficient way, in a responsible manner, so that we can work together and accomplish as well, right? To the goal, the common goal that we are trying to achieve. And we'll also be able to contribute positively to the organization, right? And also, not only to the organization, and we also build new career opportunities because we build more connections, we build lots of professional relationships with our colleagues. So that way, it'll help us as well. So what I wanted to share is, in the screen, you see what successful team members do. So these are some of the strategies that we are going to discuss now. Can someone read out the strategies that's put in here in the screen? One by one, please.
Communicate with each other.
Yes, go ahead, Deepa.
Communicate with each other, treat each other with respect, give and ask for help appropriately.
Yeah, thank you, Deepa. So what is it like to communicate with each other? Especially when you get into a role like as a junior cloud practitioner, as a cloud operations engineer, what does it look like to communicate? How would you be communicating? What are the ways that you can communicate?
A memo.
What is it?
Yeah, you could write a memo.
Write a memo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's written. Sorry.
What? A written memo. You could communicate through a written memo.
Yes.
SMSs could be sent.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
So we will be communicating. That's a verbal communication or also written communication, right? And also an electronic communication nowadays.
Yes.
It could be with your colleagues, with your managers, with your client. Yes. So definitely we'll have to communicate because we should make sure that we are on the same page and we are working towards the same goal. That way we'll be able to do better. So why is it important, you think, to consider both verbal and non-verbal forms of communication?
It's very, very critical because when you communicate verbally, the attention is drawn. You do one-on-one communication and you get to get a feel of the person's tone, what the person says. And like what we did.
One second, Tekinet. 1 second. Let's hold on. Somebody is not muted. If you're not talking, can you mute? Who's that?
Hello. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, Tekinet.
I think it. Okay.
For the verbal communication, it goes a long way to express one's. Is it me? No, so like I said, for the verbal communication, it brings a bond, just as we did in the scavenging exercise, where we had to talk. That has brought us close, and you try to get the expression from the people's tone.
Yes, definitely.
That's that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tekinet, for your participation and giving out your thoughts as well. Helen, you want to share something? Helen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Yeah, Helen, you want to share something?
You said something about verbal and non-verbal communication.
Yes.
So do you mean verbal as in physical face-to-face and non-verbal email and SMS and all that?
Yeah. Verbal, it could be even a phone communication or a physical communication, definitely. One-on-one meeting or your team meeting in person.
Now, Helen, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Helen. If you're talking to me and you're talking to me about fire, and then I'm going like this, and you're telling me about somebody just almost died, that, my friend, right there is nonverbal communication on the way that you are actually reacting to the other person. A non-verbal communication can be just as dangerous as verbal communication. If you, unfortunately, may not get upset with a customer, for instance, but they're yelling at them, and you're looking at them like if you're wanting to kill them. Once again, it's non-verbal communication, and it's the way you're reacting with them that actually then creates that actual action.
Okay.
Because there's verbal communication that can be in written format, or that it can be in when you're talking.
Gotcha.
Good questions. I like that. Anyone else? Back to Suba. Sorry about that.
I just wanted to add that how important the nonverbal part of communication is, because I just did a quick search, and according to experts, that 70–90% of all communication is nonverbal. So it's pretty important part of communication in general, especially when it's
just as bad as what I was doing now with my emotions. Can somebody tell me, how can I do that in a written format? How can I do non-verbal communications in a written format?
You can use emojis.
Exclamation marks, bold,
or you can use
exclamation marks, italics, bold, underline.
Bold, right?
capital letters.
If I put all caps, apparently that means that you're yelling at me nowadays instead of exclamation mark, which is I didn't know. I thought, hey, I want something important, let me put it in caps. No.
Hey.
I could understand if I put it red, okay, fine and dandy, but it's just in caps. No, that's apparently yelling nowadays.
Even language stores.
So four exclamation points will be like, you're doing too much. Something like that.
Wow.
So what are the ways that you'll use communication at work? In what scenarios? Anton?
Oh, I was just thinking to myself, I'm a relationship manager. Talking to people all day long is how I spend my day. And I was just thinking about an email that I got from one of the compliance people asking me to take a look at something, and how poorly worded it was, and how unclear it was, and how she CC'd my boss and my boss's boss and put red alert email tag on it.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yes. And I was just thinking about how much capacity out of my day that one poorly worded email sucked out of my day. And to top it all off, my boss is CC'd on it and her boss is CC'd on it. So I'm getting I got a constant barrage of instant messages all day long. Hey, house is coming. Hey, house is coming. Hey, house is coming. And in my attempt to get clarification on exactly what it was she needed me to resolve, because I wasn't the person that made the mistake, and it was clear it wasn't me. Why are you bothering me and not the person that made the mistake? But I tried to email her and didn't get any traction. I tried to instant message her and didn't get any traction. Tried to set up just a quick 5-minute meeting, because some people just can't communicate in writing what they're trying to say. Sometimes a 5-minute phone call can shave 2 hours off an email exchange. Sure. And she didn't have time for the phone call, but she had time to flag everybody on the email. And it was just, like I said, so much bandwidth of my day got sucked up because someone couldn't write clearly. And when we're discussing verbal and nonverbal communication, written communication, it just really hit home for me today specifically on the importance of taking time to read out loud what it is you write. Make sure that it, not because it makes sense to you, but have someone else have a second set of eyes kind of review it. If you're going to CC everyone in creation, be correct yourself first. And understand that when you hit send, it's out there. And it's real. And when you flag management and senior management, it's incredibly hard to walk that back. One of the things I'm sure it's going to get brought up at some point is brand and management. My brand gets tarnished because I get flagged for a mistake, but her brand gets tarnished because she's sending emails to everyone that had nothing to do with the problem initially, and then refusing to take meetings and instant messages and blah, 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 which I had to document. Again, sucking up unnecessary bandwidth in my day. But these are the problems that people don't think about in terms of communication. These are the fires that get started when people don't think about things in communication. What happens when you miscommunicate, and how much time on a project can get wasted because you weren't clear. How much team capacity gets soaked up because you weren't clear.
It's kind of interesting in how, if we go back to the actual slide on the presentation, you're kind of saying exactly that. She wasn't able to communicate with you clearly, wasn't asking appropriately, wasn't treating you with respect, or anyone else. So it is very beneficial to understand that obviously if these things, any of these are missing, it is just catastrophic when it comes to teamwork. It becomes a push and shove where everybody's pointing fingers. And that's where it gets difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and looks like Mr. Anton, you had a very hard day, rough day at work today. Yeah.
I earned my paycheck today.
I just wanted to mention something on the CCs and the PCCs. I've had my fair share of faux pas, and it's really intense to get an email from somebody and they've CC'd somebody on it as a reply. And so I've learned to be really careful on that, because it's a kind of a lot of nonverbal communication, you know, when they're like, hey, you know, I'm not going to take care of this myself. I'm going to go ahead and let your boss know that you sent me this email. And then also lots of problems with replying all, when it's appropriate to reply all and when it's not. And it wastes a lot of people's time and energy, I think, at work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Chandra. So as Anton said, like today he had a rough day and he had to deal with lots of problems, and he has to communicate. He tried to communicate to resolve those problems, definitely, right? So when it comes to work, we'll have to use communication at work, maybe to interact, to just pass a message to a colleague as a general message, or to meet the deadlines. We have to communicate, definitely, right? To meet the project deadlines, or even to resolve any problem. Or if we have to understand anything, probably your manager told you something, and if you have to understand what it is, maybe you'll have to ask your follow-up question, and also be able to understand that. So you'll have to communicate, definitely. And or if, for example, you are a manager and you have to give feedback to your colleagues, then you have to definitely communicate, right? So communication is definitely very, very crucial when it comes to teamwork, so that we can achieve the goal. So this is the first strategy that we are seeing. And the second strategy, treat each other with respect. What does it mean to treat each other with respect?
I think it means to be polite or to be nice as much as possible.
Yes.
That's no matter what, or no matter how the other person is going to react.
Yes.
So by all means, we should still try to take a deep breath and make it right. Because some things, like the email you mentioned, some things or words that we say cannot be taken back. You know, they trigger a lot of things already. So yes. Therefore, initially dealing with it and being nice and respectful is very, very important.
Definitely. See, as Jesus sent in the chat, treat me how you want me to treat you. See? Oh, perfect, right?
Exactly.
So if you want to be treated nicely, then we should also think about others as well. It's not that we know everything, right? Even the others, they have their value, knowledge. Not everybody has the same skill set, but then they might have a different skill set. We'll have to respect each other and also treat everyone with respect. Why is respect in workplace important? Why do you think it's important? We say like we'll have to respect, but then why do you think it's important?
So problems don't arise in the workforce?
Or is it problems?
Yeah, like so you don't get a lot of fights. They'll make your day feel longer. If like say if you're working on a project, if you get into problems, what should be taking you an hour might end up taking you 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, definitely. Because it creates that trust, right? If you're going to treat the other person like the way you wanted, it's going to create the trust and confidence. That way, we can share the ideas. If somebody is going to be mean, do you think we're going to talk to them about anything at all in first place? Not at all, right? So we just by giving respecting each other, it creates the trust and confidence, and that way we can collaborate better, share ideas, be more productive, and also reduce conflict. And thank you, Ricardo. So now that we learned Why is respect very important? Do you have any practical ways to show respect on the work? Anyone? How do you show that respect? Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Okay.
Okay. By saying thank you. Is that
Please
so?
and thank you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, saying thank you. And having a listening ear too.
Definitely, yeah. Most obviously.
Manner of approach is another one.
Yeah.
Which one?
Manner of approach. Like
manner of approach. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
like,
even the body language matters, right? So how we, yeah, definitely. So greeting them, saying hello, good morning, or complimenting, right? Or listening, as Helen said, having a listening ears. So not always interrupting and not trying to put our points in first place. No, no, definitely no, right? So you have to listen even when the other person is talking. So those are some of the strategies when it comes to treating each other with respect. So those are the ways that you can show respect. Now, when we come to give and ask for help appropriately, when do you think, when should you give help and how should you give help?
I want to say something. Yeah. Let's assume you got a job new. Let's just start from the basic. So sometimes we try to be too forward, but that doesn't help much because you might try to prove a point that you know much, but you don't know that people on the ground know more than you know. Or even if you know, just lay it down. Try to learn from them. Appreciate them. Then whatever you know will be a plus to what you're going to get from that place. Then, for instance, if there's any chance of you having a challenge, it's so easy for you to come out, like you don't even think twice to approach someone to ask for their help. But if you have presented yourself like, oh, I'm on top, I get it, I know it, now it will be difficult for you to calm down and ask for help. But irrespective of that, working as a team is one thing. In case that happens, because we are all human, forget about it, put it aside. Look at the focus, just think about the organization because we are working towards one goal. Just bring yourself down and say, oh, excuse me, Suba, I'm having some challenges in this area. Please, can you help me? I don't think any reasonable person will turn you down. But if you come, hey, do you know how to do, they will ignore you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely. So we should always be mindful of how we speak and how we use our body language, even when we have to give help. Even if we have to give help or also receive help, we should be mindful always. We should be conscious. Because if we come across as an arrogant person or a forceful person when we are giving help, then it's not going to contribute positively to the work relationship at all, right? They're not going to coming back and it's not going to take you anywhere at all. But sometimes, even if we have to ask help, sometimes we might feel embarrassed, right? Because when we go to work, we all think we have to know everything. Definitely, we have to know everything. But then there are places where we can solve problems better if we ask for help, right? Instead of making it even worse, making the situation worse, it's better to ask help. So you should know when to ask for help and how to ask and what should your intention be, how mindful you should be. So always giving and asking for help will be resulting in a very good problem solving and also will add value to each person's work, definitely. And also it's going to help the organization as a whole when we have all these skills and strategies implemented. Now, the next is a breakout room case study. Chad?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Would you like to take from here, or how about this is part 2? Or I'll continue, or how? Chad, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I haven't heard back from you. Like, you'll continue from here, or shall I continue?
Continue for now.
Yeah, I can move the slides if you want. Yeah, you don't have to think about. Okay, anyway, Diego is the one who's sharing. But you have the controller? No?
Yeah, I got both. I got the controller too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got both. You want next slide?
I already moved the next slide, but it's not
I'm sorry.
in yours.
It's not showing on the screen right now?
Yes, yes. I'm in the next slide.
But you can't see it on my screen, you're saying?
Yes, yes.
Give me a second.
So, but what slide number are you on?
It is 8. In Nearpod, it is 8.
Okay, on there.
But then I'll continue if you have any problems, or because we are running out of time as well.
Okay, because I'm going off the actual presentation from the index.
Okay,
you should be able to see my screen again. Sorry about that, it froze on me. Can you hear me?
Yes, Diego, we can hear you, but it's still in the same screen. I moved to the next screen, but the next screen has to be the breakout case study. Yes, this one. Yes.
Okay.
Chad, I'll continue for now, but if you're ready, let me know whenever you are ready. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So now going to the breakout room activity, very quickly we'll do this activity, okay? Now we have discussed 3 strategies, right? In the last slide. Now I'm going to give you 2 more strategies, okay? Because we have even 4 more strategies actually, but we are running out of time. So I want to make sure we at least discuss 2 strategies. I'm going to put it in the chat, okay? So what we'll be doing is, I'm going to share this 2 strategies that you will be discussing. And I want you to come back and tell me, okay, there are 2 strategies, okay? Can you all see in the chat box? Works collaboratively with peers to accomplish a shared goal, remain calm and motivates their peers in challenging situation. Okay, these are the 2 more strategies that I want you to work on. I'm going to assign you in the breakout rooms very quickly, okay? And we'll do this activity for 8 minutes, right? Maybe we'll do with the same breakout room. Opening the breakout rooms, okay? You can all join as you did last time. What you will be doing is take these 2 strategies and you will discuss each strategy by answering few questions like, what does this strategy mean? Why is this important? Or what are the some ways that you could show the strategy at work? When you come back, we'll discuss about it. I'll put the questions also, okay? To discuss the strategy, what you will be using, the questions that you will be using to discuss the strategy. What I want you to do is when you go back, get to the breakout room, you will not have access to this chat box at all. So copy paste and put it in a notepad. That way you have access to it. Okay? I know you're all tired, but then please try to engage in yours synchronous sessions, okay? So you have any questions you all got in the chat? The strategies, 2 strategies that you will be discussing, and on those lines, like how the strategy is important and what does it mean and how you can implement. Think on those lines and try to brainstorm few ideas. And when we get back, we'll discuss, right? Is that all clear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So again, I'll repeat, when you go back to when you get into the breakout room, you will not have access to this chat box. So copy and put it in the notepad, okay? I'm going to open the breakout rooms and count of 3. 3, 2, 1. 8 minutes.
Hello. My internet went down, so I lost connection to my laptop, so I had to connect to my phone.
Okay, Ricardo, not a problem.
I was in group 7.
Okay. Yeah, I can join. Group 7, is it? No, I don't see you in group 7. Let me check. You should be. Okay, I'll put you in room 1, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
And I was also taking a look. I don't see that I'm in a room anywhere.
You were not here at all.
Yeah. Oh, and I got invited to join room 1. I'm good. Thank you.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay.
You all had chance to discuss, brainstorm those 2 strategies. Great. Okay. I want maybe Kyla. Okay. I see you are active and engaging. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Kyla, and tell me what strategy did you discuss and what did you discuss?
Okay, yes, we actually discussed both of them. So I'll report out
if you want to pick one, yeah, any one, please. Yeah.
So I'll pick the works collaboratively with peers. So we said that this meant that we have to communicate and to be on the same page on what the shared goal is and what the individual jobs are and maybe what overlap we may have missed, right? Like maybe some areas. We said that this was important. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Yeah, no. Continue.
Okay. So this is important because you can get a lot more done and you're more efficient.
Yes.
Everyone brings more things to the table. You can get the best out of everybody, and the skills that you can use from everyone is good, right? Everyone brings a different skill. And for the last part about how a junior cloud practitioner could show this at work is by breaking out bigger goals into smaller work and then distributing them between team members, having more than one person working on a project, and having people go over your work as well.
Great. That was comprehensive. Thank you for sharing that. You guys did a great job. Very good team. That's good to know. So this was all about teamwork. Diego, you're sharing your screen? No, right? Okay.
No. You want me to bring it back?
No. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, sorry. I just hit the wrong button. I gotta learn how to
Not a problem at all, yeah. So any takeaway from this today's session? Anyone would like to share? Was that at least thoughtful, like to give some thinking to it?
Communication is very important.
Yeah.
I see, at least from what I've been reading, from the coursework and what's been going over the class, it's just been hammering over and over communication, either verbal or nonverbal. You have to keep on it because if you won't, you'll have many problems in this line of work.
Yep. I believe in communication, not only at work, even for our personal space, you know. If we communicate better, we can avoid lots of conflicts, definitely. Having a clear communication helps to avoid lots of conflicts and help us together to achieve our goal, definitely. Hey, thank you all for your participation today.